You're tuning into Black and White Sports on YouTube. The no-holds-barred truth on sports. The main event starts now.
All right, Black and White Sports supporters. Well, we're going to talk about Caitlin Clark's popularity and the fact that one of the GOATs, maybe the GOAT, in all of women's basketball, Geno Auriemma, has come out and made some scathing comments towards all the hate that Caitlin Clark is getting. Now, he threw Angel Reese in here. I don't exactly know why, because I'm like, who in the media is hating on her exactly? I haven't seen that. And more specifically, which players have been hating on her? They seem to have wrapped their loving black militant lesbian arms all around Angel Reese. I mean, isn't she heterosexual? Why aren't they hating on her? They're not. I think we all know why. Nonetheless, Geno has come out and made some scathing, truthful, I'm not sugarcoating anything for you jealous WNBA players. He just tells it like it is. Get over it. Get over it. And we're going to look at the fact, and one of the byproducts of all this is going to be an eventual television deal that's going to come down the pipeline for ESPN and whichever ones of these networks that are already involved that may want to pay a lot more money for this league now that Caitlin Clark is raising the ratings. And let's be real, I just did this video, 2.5 to 3 times as much viewers as any other game with any other team and any other player. It's Caitlin Clark. Whether the haters like it or not, the data's there. Sorry, not sorry. But ESPN seems to be willing to give up their exclusive rights to the WNBA Finals. If you're the WNBA, this might concern you. They're trying to do it might be better to grow the game if multiple networks have the finals. Really? Because if it's a growing product and it's perceived as lucrative, why wouldn't you keep it exclusively? This may be a troubling sign for the WNBA. We've talked about the fact a 3.5 to 4 times larger television media rights deal is on the table. It's on the horizon. But maybe not if ESPN's not willing to be the bulk of the pay up here. Interesting. Here's Geno.
You know, her and Angel Reese are not the 2 best players in the WNBA, but they're the 2 most talked about players in the WNBA right now. And if you're some of the players, going back to your question, you can moan and groan about why weren't they talking about me when I was here? Well, or you can just appreciate what it is and take advantage of it now. But at some point, it's always going to be about the game. It's not going to be about all the other stuff off the court and all the other, extracurricular stuff that goes on. At some point, they're going to have to, all of them are going to have to be really, really good. Her and Angel Reese are not the 2 best players in the WNBA, but they're the 2 most talked about players in the WNBA right now. And if you're
okay, so he's saying, look, just enjoy this, what it is you're getting right now. You stand to make a lot of money. Shut up and sit down. I mean, that's brutal honesty for these players that want to continue to hate, and we've talked about all of them, the usual suspects, Brittany Griner, Diana Taurasi. Hell, I just made a video on Taurasi an hour ago. Asia Wilson, another one. Sorry, we know you've got all the awards, all these accolades that nobody cared about. I mean, just being honest. Nobody cared. And this should be a troubling sign for the WNBA because ESPN is coming out saying they're willing to share the WNBA Finals rights. Now, there's going to come a time when Caitlin Clark starts making the finals. Those could end up being some pretty big numbers. We're talking 3, 4, maybe 5 million viewers. If the league and the ratings and the interest around her continue. But this is a little bit of a disturbing sign for the WNBA, and it makes you wonder if ESPN's not willing to pay up, and maybe they're the ones, they're hearing and sniffing all the rumors about 200 plus million, maybe ESPN is saying, whoa, we're not really willing to pay that. To give you an idea, the WNBA was bragging last year about their great WNBA Finals ratings. Really? Game 4 averaged 889,000 viewers. A Caitlin Clark regular season game just tripled that against the Chicago Sky. And she's hit over 2 million 3 times already. I mean, I wouldn't be bragging, but this was the ratings. They're bragging about it. The 2023 WNBA postseason on ESPN platform averaged 470,000 viewers. And 1.3 million, that was the peak for the game-clinching game. The entire finals got 728,000. And that was the most watched finals in 20 years. And ESPN is coming out and saying this is a concern for the league. ESPN was insistent on keeping the rights to the NBA Finals and its looming extension with the league. But as far as the WNBA is concerned, the network is taking a different tact. Yikes. ESPN President Content Burke Magnus said on the latest edition of the Richard Deesh Sports Media Podcast that the network sees, quote, upside, okay, in having other broadcasters involved in the WNBA Finals. That means they have to pay less if they got less games. Let's be honest. He indicated that the finals will continue to be, quote, a component of the ESPN deal, but suggested that alternating years with other rights holders would be a good thing for the ultimate continued growth and development and interest of the league. So my guess here, and this is just a guess, is that they're getting wind of how much money this is going to end up costing, and they're like, look, you know, we're not willing to pay the bulk of $200 to $240 million. That's my guess. If ESPN thought those were actually going to be really high-rated games, they would want the exclusive coverage, and they'd be willing to pay for it. ESPN has carried the WNBA Finals exclusively since 2003 and previously shared the event with NBC and sometimes Lifetime on and off from 97 to 2002. It has exclusively aired the entire WNBA playoffs since. That's not a great sign. Magnus suggested ESPN is motivated by the league's best interest and is worth noting that neither the finals or playoffs are particularly convenient to air. Yikes. Because it's in September and October during football season. Let's just keep it real here. ESPN and the WNBA have often had to engage in creative scheduling to make sure every playoff game airs on ESPN's linear platform. Yet, given the number of viewership records the WNBA has set just in the Caitlin Clark's first 6 weeks in the league, it seems reasonable to expect the WNBA postseason to become a much more desirable property in the near to medium term. I can imagine what a playoff series with Caitlin Clark, even if it's a first round, 4 games, and you're eliminated, that's going to be interesting to see how high those ratings would all. Let's say there's 4 games. Would all 4 games draw 2 million apiece, which is a big rating for this league, a huge rating? Would it draw 3 million? If she ever gets to the conference finals, you know, it gets in the finals, is that a 4 to 5 million viewership game kind of series? Could be. Depending on how many people actually have confidence, I think, in the Fever as a team. I mean, surely to God, by then, they'll have a new coach, right? Question mark? I saw this and I was like, this could be a bad sign for the WNBA. ESPN's getting wind of how much it may cost, and they're like, whoa, we're only willing to pay so much here, so we're going to have to give up games. You're saying, in theory, you may want to give up finals games with Caitlin Clark eventually. This league is still a wreck as of right now, present day. They got a long way to go. Peace. I'm out. Till next time.
Thanks for watching the show. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Be sure to tune in next time on Black and White Sports.